Let's welcome my good friend, Dustin Curlee with Transaction Made Easy. Dustin, welcome to the call. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Good.
Excited.
Yes, I love it, man. I love it. Well, I know we've known each other for a long time. We've had a lot of fun together here in San Antonio, selling a lot of real estate. You've helped me get my business off the ground. Whenever I first got started, I'll never forget, 1 month I think I did like 9 transactions and made like $56,000 in commission, like my first year. And if it wasn't for Dustin and his team, there's no way I would have been able to do it, because it was just me. I didn't, it was just me. It's single agent. I didn't have an assistant. Dustin and his team surrounded me and literally made sure all the boxes were checked and at an affordable cost, right? I was just my first year in the business. I didn't want to go out and hire, a full-time assistant. And so whenever I got introduced to Dustin 9 years ago, I said, oh my God, I need you. And we've been working together for a long time. He just made the transition over to EXP, to the EXP family. And so he wants to help you guys with taking all the burden of all the paperwork, the stress off of your shoulders right there. It can get very overwhelming, especially whenever you have a lot of contracts going at once and you don't want to drop the ball. So without further ado, Dustin, go ahead and introduce yourself. Just kind of share a little bit about you, what you've done, and then you can definitely share your screen and do a demo of his of your system, because it's an amazing system, this amazing tool. And I'm super excited to bring him into EXP, because we want to take this possibly to corporate, and let every single EXP agent actually have this, so they can actually run their business a lot smoother and help them grow their business as well too. So without further ado, Dustin, take it away, my man.
Cool. Thanks, man. Glad to be here with you guys. And I'm really excited to be with EXP. I really do have, I was telling Pat, I dream big, and I have a vision to have EXP, which is already the most innovative brokerage out there. I have a vision in my mind to have EXP have the most comprehensive contract to close through my services ever, so that all the other brokerages are like, I wish we would have done that. And I'm really excited about that. Like Pat said, I've been around forever, since 2000, so going on 22 years in the business. I started with my grandmother, who was a realtor for 36 years, and Craig Owen, if y'all know Craig Owen, he ended up hiring me as the listing manager for the Owen Group when he sold the Owen Group to Pat and Kathy King and took over as the team leader. And I ended up working with them for almost 5 years. Then I grew out of that position. The position couldn't afford me any more money, and I had outgrown in terms of skill. And so I took over another group, and then I bought and sold for a while. And then Craig had me help open the New Braunfels Keller Williams. I worked at KWI for a while with Tony DeCello and Diana Kokoska, and taught there. And this whole time, as soon as Pat moved over to EXP, he and I have been talking literally for 9 years about this happening. Yep. And I eventually gave in and was like, all right, man, I see it. But loyalty runs deep, and Craig saved my life literally back in 2000 by taking a chance with me, because I was just a thug back then. But now I have a vision of getting Craig over to EXP as well. So
Yes,
I'm already, he and I are meeting next week, so I have a vision for that too.
yes, love it.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Yep. So that you guys can have an idea of just how intense what I do is. This is not normal contract to close, where it's a few nuts and bolts of the transaction, and you do sky slope, and then everything is done after that. This is a very comprehensive contract to close service, which you guys will see. So this is the system I use. It's called TC Workflow. If anyone were to sign up for TC Workflow, it's a very basic system. It's just like Dotloop or SkySlope or Back Agent. It's what you do within the system that makes the system. And what I have created over the last 14 years is like Pat said, I mean, it's just unparalleled. So Leslie is an EXP agent. Here's a deal I'm doing with him. You can see some basic information about the property. Here are all the important dates that Pat mentioned, option periods, which in some other states, those are called inspection contingencies or financing contingencies versus option period and things like that. When I add these in, what I do is I go in, I make them contingent, I add them to a calendar, and I add my agent to the calendar as well. So the agents that I work with have every single one of the important dates added to their calendar automatically. Loan financing, what type of loan it is, payoff information from the seller, commission structure. Then here I have all of the clients, all the parties to the transaction are in the file as well. So you see that this is a seller file. So I've got my sellers in here. I've got who the lender is. I've got the title company, the buyer's agent, the buyers, me, and then my agent that I'm working with. I create a summary report so that every Friday, you and the client receives this summary report of exactly what has gone on with the transaction that week. It says what is scheduled coming up, the tasks that have been completed, and it has a copy of all of the transaction documents as well. So you and the client get a copy of that every single week. It automatically goes out so that everyone is updated on the transaction. And quite honestly, my agents don't care about that, but the clients absolutely love this. They love being informed of what's going on throughout the process. And that is something that my team is huge about. I built my systems off of Brian Buffini's touch. If y'all have ever heard of Brian Buffini's touches, that's how I built my system. So the buyer or the seller is actually getting a touch every 2 to 3 days throughout the transaction, which the amazing thing, it educates the buyer or seller so that you don't get those phone calls and those text messages constantly. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Because we are the point of contact and we are helping to educate them. All of the documents are stored here in the system, and it's all cloud-based. There's no limit to what I can put in here or how long it stays in. You can see that everything is labeled for exactly what it is. The really cool thing is everything that I do goes through here. So you can see EXP, it's branded EXP. I do not promote myself. So every single email that goes out is Dustin Curlee, transaction manager 4, and it would have you as the agent. I do not brand myself, because the more business I help you get, the more business I get. So this is a win-win for me. And the really cool thing is, you know, if I wanted to send an email out, I could go here, I could add my agent, I could add the buyer's agent, I could add the title company, I add the subject line, I send my email, boom, I send it out, that automatically goes out. And then all of the sent log, when it was opened, who opened it, is all saved here in this log for E&O. So it's really cool because I can always know when it was sent out, who opened it, what happened, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so here's the bread and butter that everyone loves. This is my checklist. Everything on this side is what is coming up. Everything on the right side is the things that have been done. So I'm going to go down here and start from the beginning. So when I get a contract, and I'm not going to go through my entire checklist bit by bit by bit, it would take too long and it would bore y'all. And some of y'all who are high D's like me on the disc are probably already like, I love this or I hate it. And then the high S's and C's are probably like, well, can we schedule another time to go through the entire checklist in detail?
That's
and
right.
I get it. All right. So you'll see here my checklist starts, and it's extremely comprehensive. Make sure the contract is correct and executed. Intro email to vendors. So let me show y'all something that we do that is super cool. So every time we get a contract, I send out an email that goes to the title company, my agent, the other agent, and the lender. Everyone's copied on it. It has a video of me introducing myself as the agent's transaction manager. You can see here all of the important dates to the contract, who the title company is, who the lender is. It says to copy me on all emails. It's branded to my agent, and then a copy of the contract goes out with that. So that is the intro email to the vendors. Then one that we send out is the intro email to the client. And you can see here, it automatically adds the client. Congratulations, your home is under contract. I'm the transaction manager. Here's a video. We're going to be providing you with an insurance quote. Here's the option period. Here's the third party. Here's the close date. Here's your closer. Make sure to copy me. And then look, every single thing we send to the client talks about referrals. Don't forget, Pat works off of referrals, aims to serve you with professionalism. Do you know if somebody's looking to buy or sell? Please send me their contact information. So we are constantly talking to the client about referrals throughout the entire process. Because again, if we can help you grow your business, that is going to help me grow my business. So we are constantly advocating you as the agent. So let me go back to my checklist here. All right. We change statuses on MLS for you. We send you reminders about the option period. We make sure HOA docs are ordered if we have the seller side or the buyer side. Another reminder about the option period. If you have the buyer, we actually write the amendment for you, or if you're in different states, it's called an addendum, a contingency removal for those of you who are in the upper Northwest. So we write contingency removals or amendments or addendums. We do all of that for you. We make sure earnest money and option period is delivered. We help schedule the inspections. We get payoff information from the seller if we have the seller side. Of course, we do sky slope. So we do everything in compliance for the brokerage. We make sure that we get a title commitment from the title company once it goes pending, or we get out of the inspection period. We change the status in MLS for you. Then we send another video email to the client that's called an option to pending or a contingency removal. And that basically just says, hey, we're past the inspection period at this point. Now we're working through the lending process, making sure that appraisal comes in, blah, 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 blah. It's just another way to help educate the client.
Hey, and real quick, Dustin, I just had a agent to reach out to me. Are you able to help out EXP agents in Canada?
I can help EXP agents anywhere.
There you go. Love it.
Yeah. And here's the cool thing. I'm so dedicated at this point to EXP that I'm willing to fly somewhere and hire someone local in that area under the auspice of my company so that they are local to your area. So that's what I'm about to start branching out and doing that so that you have people in your area. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right. I check on financing, email moving checklist. You guys will totally dig this. So here's another thing that we do. And all of this is set up based on the timeline of the contract. So we send out a moving checklist. Hey, Joshua and Taylor, attached is a moving checklist that Florence likes to provide to the clients. This will be a great tool as we get closer to closing, blah, blah, blah. And then it's got a moving checklist, and I'll show y'all what that looks like. So this goes out to the client, and it looks like it comes from you. This is stuff that it looks like you're doing, like you've built this system out, and it's really us doing it on your behalf. So that's stuff that we do automatically. On a buy side, we help the buyer get their utilities switched over. We help them get an insurance quote. We help get the home warranty ordered if there's a home warranty. Okay, so then you'll see on this checklist, I'm caught up to date. Everything here is caught up to date, right? So now on the 24th, 3 days from now, I'm going to schedule the closing. Then a closing invite will go out right here. Once I schedule that closing, this will go out and it'll have the address where the person goes. It'll be added to the calendar. It has the start time, the end time. You, my agent, and the client is added to that invite. Then I send out a closing gift reminder. Then I make sure that everybody has any amendments that we did. Then I make sure the CD has gone out to the buyer per trade guidelines. For the seller side, I send out a pre-closing questions about trash pickup, alarms, keys, all that kind of stuff. Then I request the seller's new address before closing, and I'll tell you all why in just a second. Then I make sure that title has everything that they need one day before closing. All right, now post-closing stuff. We update the seller's address. We get a testimonial from the client. So at the end of every single deal, we send out an email to the client and it says, hey, Pat, so excited we closed on your new home. It's very important to us that you were satisfied with our service. Would you be willing to write a quick email letting us know how we did as a team for you? It's important to us that you were satisfied with our service. By the way, if you ever know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, blah, 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 blah. When we get those testimonials back, we're going to post them on Facebook so that you get props for the testimonial, and then you can take that and do whatever you want to with it. So that's more stuff that we're doing for you. Okay, here's where you know I'm old school. We actually mail letters to your client on actual paper with stamps and envelopes. Remember when people used to do that? Because that's how I grew up with my grandmother. I grew up that old school way of really going above and beyond. So we're going to send out letters on letterhead to your client that look like they come from you. And it says, there's one that goes out when we go under contract. So excited we got your home under contract. Thank you for allowing me to represent you. Don't forget to contact me or Dustin if you have any questions. Looking forward to a smooth closing. When we close, we send one that says, hey, Pat, thank you for allowing me to represent you on the purchase of this home. You're going to receive a closing flash drive in 3 weeks with all your transaction documents on it. By the way, if you ever know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, blah, blah, blah. Then at the end of every single deal, I print out a letter that goes into an envelope and it sits in a box. And it is an end of the year tax letter. January 1, we take that to the post office, and we just went and mailed 3,000 of these letters. And it just says, hey, Pat, again, thank you for allowing me to represent you on the purchase of your home. It's time to file for your taxes. I wanted to remind you to access your closing flash drive for a copy of your settlement statement for tax purposes. By the way, if you ever know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, blah, 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 blah. What is this flash drive? All right, here's a task. At the end of every deal, I have an employee. It's my only employee. Her entire job is to create flash drives for every single buyer or seller we close. And it's this super cool, it looks like a credit card. This little flash drive USB thing pops out, and it looks like it comes from you. They stick it in their computer and it opens up just like what you see right here, TC Workflow. And it's got all their transaction documents on it for their records. Super cool. That goes out to them 3 weeks after closing. And again, looks like it comes from you. So while you're out doing real estate, which is why you got into real estate, not to do all this junk, my team is doing all of this for you behind the scenes. We are leveraging that 80% so that you go work with buyers and sellers. We are asking for referrals. We are sending out letters. We are doing the amendments. We are doing compliance. We are doing all of that stuff at the highest level of service that I guarantee you. I know you guys have never seen anything like what I just showed you. You've probably seen transaction management, but not like this, because no one does what I do.
Right.
And it's so intense. But the reason that I built it like this is because this is a win-win. If I help you grow your business as a realtor and you get more contracts, I get more contracts. So I am helping lead generate for myself by helping you lead generate for your business. That's really kind of the nuts and bolts of it. I blew through that super, super quick.
No, that was awesome. And I know we had a bunch of comments that I was looking at in the text chat. Everybody's like, wow, this is amazing. Nice touch. So let's open it up for some Q&A. I know there's probably a lot of questions here. Again, we just answered that one question that Dustin can definitely help out agents in Canada. That's awesome. Adam loved it. So looks like Adam's going to be using your service now, Dustin. But yeah, let's open it up for some Q&A. What do you guys think? Right? Pretty cool, right? That's why I'm super excited about introducing Dustin to you guys, because everybody needs this, right? And everybody needs this at a high level. And then also he's helping you guys grow your business on the back end, which is helping him as well too, right? So we're all working together as a team to help each other win and help each other, grow their business, right? And I know I had a few questions about how much does this cost? You want to go ahead and share, how much does this cost? Everybody thinks it's going to be, an arm and a leg.
Nope. Okay. Yeah. It is a super nominal price. Heather, yes, you can pass my information along to that person. Jackie, yes, I have someone who specializes in commercial. I also have a bilingual person whose first language is Spanish. I tried doing it through Google Translate and made a complete butt out of myself. The Spanish people would respond and go, your Spanish is extremely proper. And I was like, I have no idea what I said. I just Google translated. So I hired someone who's bilingual, and we have Spanish videos, Spanish letters, Spanish everything. So yes. Okay. The fee is $400. That's it. And it's paid at closing. And if the deal doesn't close, I don't get paid. Who can pay for it, buyer or agent? Great question. Okay. I always, when I teach classes, I suggest that the agents write this into their buyer rep or listing agreement. So on the commission part, you would put, like in the listing agreement, 6% plus 400. And that's how you do it. It's added in as commission. Some people don't feel, this used to be, this was common practice to add this 400 for us old school people. Y'all will remember that.
Right.
It was called a transaction fee. Everyone did it. Then about 7 years ago, it became a RESPA violation. And RESPA was like, whoa, we can't charge that. We don't know if it's an additional service or what is this additional fee. Then it got overturned. NAR overturned it, and Trek said, no, they can charge that fee. Now it's legal again. It's been legal for a few years. So you can absolutely charge it to the buyer or seller. But here's what I always say. So the normal transaction takes about 10 to 15 hours between emails, phone calls, paperwork, compliance, all that stuff. It takes about 10 to 15 hours. Let's say you took 5 of those hours. You handed this off to me. You took 5 of those hours to lead generate, and you used 10 of those hours to go shopping or go to Cabo or watch Yellowstone or whatever. Okay. 5 of those hours you did lead generation. You converted 1 lead at $100,000 at 3%. You just made $3,000 and paid me 400. Make sense?
Yep.
So it's an absolute wash, whether you pay me yourself or you write it into the agreement. Jessica, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you guys give information on America's Preferred Home Warranty or Utility Connect or any of the other preferred partners.
Yeah, Dennis just said leverage. That is exactly what this is leverage. Yes. Okay, Jessica, to answer your question. So I already have what I call my preferred vendors. So when the initial email goes out, if Steve, I'll explain that in a minute. Super easy. So when my initial emails go out, I talk about my vendors, and I don't get anything from these people. I don't get any kickbacks from the people that I work with. I work with them because they make me look good. So Select Home Warranty and First American are the 2 home warranty companies that I typically suggest. I work with 360 Home Connect for you as a utility concierge. And then I work with Access Insurance as an insurance provider. But some of my agents say, well, hey, Dustin, I've got my own preferred vendors. Can we work with them? I create your own preferred vendors list. So in my system that I just showed you, it would say Pat Hayes vendors. When I do his contract, I automatically launch his vendors into that so that it refers them. Make sense?
Love it. Yep. And that's right, Hector. Let's see. Lance is right. Yep. If the contract doesn't close, then there's no fee. You don't pay.
Yep, because I don't want my agents being penalized $400 if the deal doesn't close, because it's not like an agent goes, well, I don't care if it closes. We're all trying to get it closed. And if it doesn't close, you're out the money. So I don't want you to have to pay me the money.
Yep. Heather. Yep, Heather. Yeah, right on. I totally agree.
Yeah. Anna, that's awesome. So hard. Yeah, it's very hard. How do we get set up, Steve? There is no setup. It's super easy. All you do is shoot me a text or an email and say, I have a contract. Here's my MLS login and my SkySlope. That's it. I can immediately get an email signature set up for you. You'll have 1 TC. You will be assigned 1 TC so that you're not dealing with a whole bunch of people. And that is the TC that you will have for your entire life. Okay.
And real quick, Eric Clowers, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, and I'm not doing that many transactions, but I hate doing the paperwork. I will always pay somebody.
Amen.
And you definitely make me look good. I'm on board.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, and Pat's known me a long time. What states are you in? I'm in any state. I literally work right now in 9 different states. And the great thing about what I do is I can take someone in your state, local to your area, and go, hey, I want you to work with me under the auspice of my company. You're going to use my systems, but it's going to be catered to your area with your terminology and your dates. Like some people work off of business days versus calendar days. and I will put someone in your area so that you have someone local to your area.
Yep. Nick, yes, yes, Utah. He can service Utah, Nick. Yep. And then let's see, I think somebody else had their hand raised there that I saw. Let's see, who was that? Let's see, Hector. Yes, go ahead, bud.
Yes. Hey, Dustin, thank you for sharing. That's great. You know, I'm new to the industry, so I was taught to go with a transaction coordinator. And
oh no,
did we lose him?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh no. Okay, let's see. Who else there? Is that Marie? Go ahead.
This is fabulous. I'm a new agent and I had a couple of transactions and the paperwork just got killed me. I found myself saying, so I really want to do this. My question to Dustin is, I live in Maryland. And so, you know, basically you're saying you would hire or have a transaction coordinator that knows Maryland rules and laws and the local, because I live in Anne Arundel County. I'd like to have somebody who's familiar with Anne Arundel County because each county has its own little quirks as far as paperwork.
Yeah.
So how do I contact you, Dustin, to see if you have someone in this area?
So I posted my information in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
No, that's fine. And I'll post it again in just a second.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
So what I would do is, it's important to me as a business owner, and you guys will get this. It's important to me, there's Hector, to know the contracts in all the areas I'm working. So I will probably do 2 or 3 of them personally, so that I learn the system myself in your area. And then I'm going to hire someone. I'll actually hire someone in your area to work that for you.
Great. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely. All right, Hector, we lost
Hector,
you.
yeah, Hector, you're back. We lost you there. Go ahead,
yeah,
bud.
sorry, I had an incoming call. So yeah, listen, I was taught from the beginning to get a transaction coordinator. You want to sell real estate, not do paperwork. And you were very upfront with your numbers. I pay my transaction coordinator, she makes my coordinator $350, and she does not do half of what you're doing. And especially the lead generation side of it. So I'm in, man. Thank you for this, Pat. Thank you for the opportunity.
You bet.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what every single person tells me when they try because I'll tell people, they'll be like, hey, I'm interviewing TCs right now. And I will tell them, great, I want you to use 2 or 3 TCs. Because you don't go to a car lot, just walk up and go, I want that car. I'm not going to test drive any other cars. Try them out. And I guarantee you what will happen is that agent will come back to me and go, hands down, man, you guys have the best system out there. Y'all do more than anybody else.
Amen.
So Debbie is asking how much for double-ended deals. There's a $150 discount for a double-ended deal. So instead of it being 400 and 400, it's 650, because it is, so that we don't commingle it. It has to be 2 separate transactions, 2 separate checklists, 2 separate sets of letters, 2 separate flash drives, 2 separate I mean, it's literally 2 separate transactions so that we don't get in any trouble if anything were to ever happen.
Love it, man. Good stuff. Let's see. Is that
Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica. There you go. Yep.
Do we have access to view your system and see what's going on, or are we?
Yes. So you and the client will both get a login. You only need 1 login. So like if you were to do 10 deals with me, you would have 1 login and you'd be able to see all of your deals all at once, pending and past.
And does that also, or is the transaction coordinator that we use always going to be the same person as well? Or is it just one for each transaction?
Nope. It's going to be, you'll have the same transaction manager for every single deal.
Thank you.
Love it. Yep. Lance, go ahead. You got your hand up.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, Pat, Dustin, you guys have been awesome. Pat, you bring so much value to these calls and I really appreciate it.
You bet.
My question to you, Dustin, is I know you're talking about the letters going out, flash drives. Is this, I know you said you don't brand yourself. Will our names be on these letters and on the flash drive, these things that go to the clients?
Yeah, literally everything goes out on EXP letterhead, and then it has this form letter, and I can show you guys all this if you contact me. And then at the bottom, it says, sincerely, Pat Hayes, your realtor for life.
Cool. Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Love it. Yeah. Great question. Good questions, guys. Good stuff. Dustin, everybody loves it.
If I may, Pat, let me see. I'm new agent, so let me tell you that you have a house that we want. We're gonna put an offer in. So how does it work, Dustin? I put the offer in and send it to you, or do you put the offer in for me? How does it work?
So once it's executed, it doesn't have to be receipted. Once it's executed, or what you guys in some states call ratified, once it's at that point, you send it to me and I'll take over. And normally, I don't care how I get it. You can forward it from your phone, whatever. As long as I can get the contract, I can typically get everything I need off of the contract. If there was something missing that I needed, I'd just shoot you a quick text and say, hey, what's our buyer's info or whatever. And then you will, in about an hour or two, you'll start seeing everything taking place.
Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great questions. All right. Any other questions for Dustin?
Do you prefer that we wait for the purchase agreement to be accepted, fully accepted, or can we start as early as a buyer rep or listing contract being signed?
I would rather it be signed and executed. It doesn't have to be receipted, but signed and executed, because when I send the contract out, I send 2 initial emails out immediately. One goes to the client, one goes to the vendors. So the one that goes to the vendors goes to the title company, you, the other agent, and the lender. And I would rather the lender and the title company have the contract that they're going to receipt and use versus one that's incomplete. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Steve, yes, we do
Yes.
all the sky slope stuff. We do all of that for you. And I am on the CDA. I'm in the commission section of sky slope. So you don't even have to worry about my fee. They just put it on the CDA. Heather, do you enter in listing transactions? I do have someone who does listings. I don't get any of the money. I actually don't deal with any of it at all because my contract to close business is so big that I stopped doing listings about 11 years ago. But I do have someone who can do all of that for you. If you touch base with me, I can get you all her info. She's super sweet. Yes. So Heather, yes, I have someone who will do all of that for you. And she only charges $100. I've told her to charge more, but that's on her. But she'll literally put it in SkySlope, put it in MLS, upload photos, reach out to the client and make sure all your paperwork is done. Yeah, I know, right, Heather? And she only charges $100. And I'm like,
She's awesome. Oh yeah, she's awesome. All right, let's see who else. We've got a few more minutes for a few more questions. If you guys have any questions, good stuff, man. Right? I'm excited.
yeah, it's.
Pat, I
Yeah,
have-
I'm telling you, I want to dominate with EXP and make every other brokerage go, I really wish we would have done this.
You have no idea how long I've been working on Dustin to get over here to EXP.
Yes.
and he finally made the transition over. That's why I wanted to open this up to everybody here. Good stuff.
Good job, Pat. You know how to find them.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Any other questions here?
Yeah. So Nick just brought up a great point. It's another value proposition for adding
Absolutely.
agents.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is a huge value proposition for when you're adding agents. To tell them that they have someone who's going to do this and work referrals, et cetera. I mean, man, and this is stuff that I have tried to talk to, and Pat knows this. I have tried to talk to the uppers at Keller Williams about this for quite a while.
Yep.
And then Pat finally was like, we're doing this, bro.
Let's do this. Yes. Yes. You know, what's an agent's worst nightmare? Paperwork.
Yes.
I hate it. Let's
Option
see.
periods.
Yeah, we got 2 more questions here. Let's see. Wild Lily Handy, go ahead. Ooh, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Dustin, awesome presentation, awesome detail, love it. And I'm already paying for one right now. It doesn't provide everything that you do on the listing site. However, I went to your website right away and you're already on my contacts. So your website says something about an unlimited plan for $75 per month. And then you can add, let's see, add another person for $50. Could you explain that?
Are you on TC Workflow's website?
Yeah, tcworkflow.com/pricing.
Yeah, that's not my website. That's
that's not yours.
Yeah, that's TC Workflow's website. That is TC Workflow is the company that owns the software. I just put my website in the chat. TC Workflow is the company that owns the software that I use. So let's say EXP or Pat said, I want to use a contract to close software. They could use TC Workflow, but TC Workflow, SkySlope, Back Agent, TC Docs, all of those softwares, they don't come with a checklist or anything in them. It's just a very basic software, and then you have to build it out inside the system. And that's what I have. Everything I just showed you is proprietary to me. I built that out within TC Workflow.
Yep, great question. And then Dustin, Lance has got a great question. How do we get a hold of the lady that will upload the listings in MLS for us? You want to go ahead and put her contact info in?
Data entry at sold2close.com. There you go.
There we go. Awesome. And then let's see here. We had Kathy. Do you have any marketing material for your services?
Yeah, if you'll just shoot me a text or an email, I'll send you over my flyer and all that stuff.
Let's see, Greg, Dustin, what did Pat finally do that got you over?
So look, honestly, I knew this would come up. So honestly, it was kind of a combination of things. It was Pat's persistency. It was my grasp of EXP.
And your vision and your service and kind of everything, kind of just perfect timing.
Yeah, it really was. It was, I saw what EXP was doing is along the same wavelength as what I'm doing versus other brokerages that are kind of stuck in an old mentality that I think eventually is going to die off. And I've like I said, I mean, I've been around since 2000. So I have seen what has happened. And when EXP came out with EXP World and avatars and people were like, ah, ha, ha, they're so dumb. I immediately went, no, that's pretty freaking brilliant.
Right.
But it still just took me a while to, cause I'm really loyal. And one day I may tell you all about what Craig did for me, but I love Craig Owen. I love that man. He literally saved my life. I would probably be dead or in prison if it weren't for Craig. And so I'm super loyal to him, but I told him, hey man, this has run its course. Sorry.
And now we're going to save his life by getting over to EXP.
Yeah. I'm meeting with him next week. I told you, Pat, that he would send me a text.
I know. Oh, I love it. I love it. I can't wait. All right. One more question. Ron, go ahead. You got your hand up.
Hey, yeah, thanks. And Dustin, this is awesome. One quick question on the review part. If we give you our link to our Google My Business, are you able to also send that to the client to get reviews?
Yep. I can add any of that stuff into any emails that go out.
That's perfect. Love it.
Good stuff. Let's
They're
see.
all coming. It's just a matter of time. They are. Yeah.
That's right. Yes, they are. I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Great mastermind today, Dustin. I love it. All right. Any other questions here for Dustin? We've got a few more minutes here. So fire away if you guys have any questions. Don't be shy. This is an amazing, amazing tool that I think every single realtor needs to help them grow their business.
Pat, I've got a question, Terry.
Yes, go ahead, Terry.
Do you do like handwritten notes? Do you have the software and app to do handwritten notes to thank clients and stuff like that?
No, I don't do handwritten. I did when I first started, but it took forever. But I grew up doing handwritten notes as well. But it's not something that I currently do.
There's so much software out there now for doing what looks like real.
Yeah, you're right. There is. And it's not that I'm opposed to that. I mean, I'm always willing to look at something and incorporate something. So, I mean, I'm not saying I won't do it in the future, but we don't do it right now.
Okay, thank you. I'll be in touch.
Love it. Love it. All right. Let's see, Steve. Let's see, Zillow reviews and Facebook as well. Great question.
Yep.
Let's see here. Heather, see, mailbox power is perfect for this. There you go. Let's see. Then let me go ahead and drop Dustin's info in here real quick for you guys. Yeah, reach out to Dustin. If you guys have any questions one-on-one and you don't want to share it, on the mastermind, go ahead and reach out to Dustin. Go ahead and shoot him a text. He's very responsive. I text him and he literally texts me back within 30 seconds. It's crazy.
Dustin, a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to promote you to the agents I have that are not on this. Do you have any material that you can share with us that we can give to those? All of us, I'm sure, have somebody we go, you need to see this.
Yeah, let me, I'm gonna put my flyer in the chat.
Yeah, and also this is being recorded as well too. Once we download it all and Ian gets this over to me, I can send it out to you guys, and you guys can share it with your team if you want to. Just, hey, watch this and get with Dustin.
Yeah, and I just added my flyer, but also just reach out to me. All you have to do is shoot me a text or an email, and I will respond to you. And then at that point, I can send you whatever you need, or I'll even set up a presentation to talk to your agents. I mean, you let me know what you need, and I'm willing to do it.
Yep. Dustin literally just joined the EXP family a few weeks ago. So this is our first presentation. Love it.
Hey, Dustin, I may need you to repeat something. You know, I'm not an elephant. You know, elephants never forget, but
Yeah.
You mentioned about not doing listing. So I focus more on listing. So the fee is the same, 400 per listing, even though this young lady uploads it to the MLS, but
Yeah,
to do
so
the whole
I
thing
do-
similar to the,
Yeah, I do contract to close for listings or buyers. I don't do pre-contract listing stuff. But Kayla does. I put Kayla's information in there, and Kayla does all of the pre-listing stuff. And I already texted her and said, hey, be checking your email today. So she will put it in MLS and upload photos and do all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. So she will do all of that for you. And then once it goes under contract for a buyer or a seller, I take over and do that at that point.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Love it.
No, Ken, you would have the same transaction manager assigned to you, one person. I don't want like Pat. I don't want Pat having 6 different transaction managers.
Right.
And the other cool thing about my services, real quick, is nobody is overseas. Everybody is here and reachable, and they'll text you, and they understand the language and the system, and so it's none of that over there.
Love it, man. Dustin, well, we're almost at the top of the hour here. I'm going to give a few minutes here so everybody can go grab another cup of coffee, use the restroom, and then get to leadership meeting if they want to. But man, great stuff. I knew it was going to be an awesome mastermind like always. Thanks so much for your leadership and your friendship and your help. And again, first off, welcome to the EXP family. And I know we're going to do some big things. This is an amazing system. I've been using it for a long time. And I just wanted to share it with everybody now that you're a part of the family, and let you guys, work together, and let Dustin help you guys grow your business. Right. And again, paperwork is not my thing. And, Dustin definitely, takes that burden off all of our shoulders. And just wait until, wait until you use this system. It's absolutely amazing. Your clients going to love it. You're going to love it. The title company's going to love it. The lender's going to love it. Everybody's in communication, right? That's the worst thing, is lack of communication during during a transaction and during the process. And so he makes the process so seamless and so smooth, and makes it actually fun, because you don't have to really do anything. His system does it all for you, and you're just copying on all the emails and the text, and you get to enjoy the next buyer seller without having to be bogged down with all the paperwork. So man, great stuff, and at an affordable cost too. That's very cheap than hiring a full-time assistant.
Thank you so much, Dustin.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Love it.
Welcome.
All right, guys. Well, happy Friday, happy Freedom Friday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it again. Dustin, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. Love you, man. And you guys go out, have a great weekend. Stay warm, and we'll see you back here next Friday on the next mastermind. And if you have any questions, go ahead and get with Dustin, shoot him a text or give him an email, and he'll definitely take care of you guys and help you guys grow your business. So thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Take care. God bless.